Local sonnet. I have a memory between the day we had inhabited actually, and we could inhabit the room easy, or alter, of course, time anyway, and envisage also accruing people, the faces before the inhabitants, imagining to occupy themselves tuning vocal instruments that must resemble over time simple, or the angle or need to resemble. They must resemble over time single, or symbol, or needing to resemble. Were they are on occasion inconstant, they must resemble over time people. As by Alvin Lucier. I am sitting in a room different from the one you are in now. Left having. If I left the ending for you, until the others present can find it, the sun will already have gone down at a slow pace, refraining the ending, starting off but not coming to an end, beginning with the sound but not ending. I interrupted myself, or broke signaling distance just now, beyond the scattered signaling. The distance just now scattered in expenses further. It tried regardless, distance just now reaching us, with features just now reaching us, as it had tried to be features regardless, as it had tried to be regardless. Regardless, the distance broke signaling. No matter, regardless the distance, no matter, regardless the insistence, or the phone ringing, nor writing down, or rather broke features by signaling. More matter broke by signaling, or rather broke by signaling, nor matter broke by signaling, or rather the airwaves broke signaling, or matter the airwaves spoke signaling, no matter the airwaves broke signaling, and which center broke signaling, no matter you had the airwaves, no matter who had the airwaves, scattering the airwaves for you, scattered over the airwaves. Though I left the ending for you to further scatter inexpensively, and further scattered in expenses that features could crawl all over, that scattered in expenses further, that mattered in expenses further, that scattered in expenses further, that scattered the airwaves further and further across the inexpenses, across the shattered airwaves, across the scattered airwaves, and it was further and further, around which bent a broke signaling, regardless went a broke signaling, nor which was sent through a broke signal, and which bent through a broke signal, and which sent a broke signaling, no matter that features didn't match. Through features that didn't match, further and further from anyone, and which sent a broke signaling matter further and further features thought it, matter and further creatures thought it, further and further features thought it, should, and which sent a folk signaling, though the creatures thought it should, though the features thought it would, with creatures tending for it to happen, with features impending for it to happen, with creatures depending for it to happen, with features impending regardless, with an ending that brought creatures, no matter having turned down features, no matter having turned around, nor matter having turned around, nor matter getting turned around, nor matter getting mixed up features, no matter getting mixed up with creatures, regardless the echo that it takes, no matter being featured the distance, no matter of distance to the next creature, no matter of insistence, which would not be grown together, that 1 foot now is 1 foot then, and would not be grouped further, regardless of the research that had been done. But what happened was further and would not be grouped together, that what happened would not be further and would not be grouped together, and further, churning around with everything else that could not be grouped together, that had a name called in the cold air, regardless of the distance left rising further, regardless the insistence left rising further, and a name was called in the cold air, regardless the distance of the sun left rising again further and unraveling further, and names were called in the cold air, regardless of the distance from the sun left rising further and unraveling further, and one name now was one name then. And they unraveled further and further from their names left rising in the cold air. And names were left rising and unraveling, or names left rising and unraveling in the cold air, or names called either in the winter air, which left them rising and unraveling, and they unraveled further and further, or the phone ringing, or by writing it down. Which words are strung together? When words are strung together, stringing the words together to keep warm, or by writing strings the words together, or my writing strings the words together. If I left the ending for you, and not stopping but the echo answering, in the one room, and not stopping when it really stopped, rising which left steam dissipating, which left an echo and had been called either in the cold winter air, appearing with each syllable, to another region to be left behind, that a line had been written, or that a foot left an impact on the ground, from everything else, the ending that churned around with everything else, and it was further and further behind that a line had been written to describe the ending, growing colder when further and further, and it was further and further behind that described the ending that churned around with everything else at a safe distance from everything else. And while speaking out a focused world, if I left the ending for you until the others present can find it, and the sun will already have gone down at a slow pace refraining the ending, and growing colder when further and further, and while speaking out a focused world, and now eking out a focused world, and now speaking out a focused world, and now speaking out a locust world, and now speaking the world out of focus, and now speaking out of the focused word, but not sneaking the world out of focus, but not speaking the word now in focus, and pointing your attention to, I interrupted myself. As by some order scattering others, the others gathered as by some order, the others scattered as by some order, with the others scattered by some order, with the others gathered by some order, with the others gathered by some water, which will never really be an ending, with just enough light to be an ending. To continue, I refrained the end while went down. I let the ending go down, before it's later summoned up again. The others present have the chance to sleep. If I left the ending for you until the others present can find it, and the sun will already have gone down at a slow pace refraining the ending, before anyone any had gone down, before it's later summoned up again, before it comes up again, before anyone any have gone down, before anyone many have gone down, anyone will many have gone down, which requires the group to disperse before you have the chance, the others present before it comes up, will be late before it sums up again, will be late before it comes up again, before it's summoned up again later, will take a while to be summed up again, will be late before it comes up again, before it's summoned up again, before it comes up again belated, will be late before it comes up again, belated before it comes up again, before it comes up again will be laid, so that it can be summed up again, ordered before it comes up again, or ordered before it comes up again, or order before it's summed up again, the order before it sums up again, before it sums up unfamiliar, that it sums up each unfamiliar, then it sums up each unfamiliar day with a wash of opportunities, as it sums up each unfamiliar day. When it sums up each day, when it comes up each day, for a long red moment unfamiliar. And the sun will already have gone down at a slow pace, refraining the ending, at a slow pace retaining the ending, at a slow pace reframing the ending, to a small space containing the ending, to a small space remaining the ending, so that it can be found on condition of the others being present. It will remain an apparition. If I left the ending for you until the others present confined it, and the sun will already have gone down. If I left the ending for you, and the sun will already have gone down until the others present confined it. There are nonetheless a few hours before a system of clouds will appear on the horizon, but not within sight, as the sun will already have gone down. That a light, that a foot reached the ground, turning around with everything else turning around, some of which is edible, but kept in rotation. That trail's sun reached the ground, turning around with everything else turning around, growing colder turning around, some of which could be masticated and taste good, but not all of it, and it was further and further masticated, some of which falls apart on its own over time, that could some company, that could use the heat of company from a source of heat and everything else, from source everything else, from sun that nonetheless reaches, from sun that you might amount accelerating, to be one too many to count each time, that you might recount accelerating, but that line of thought never continued, that you might mistake another for me, that you might recount what happened today, that you might mistake another for me, that you might take another look at me. If I let the ending, wishes in the air, if I let the ending, if I left the ending, if I let the ending continue, which is in the air what you wished for, which is desire, if I let the ending continue, which is entire in the air, if I left impending continue, if I left the end to you, which is regenerating your sleep, which is longing to be misspelled, wishes belonging to be misspelled, which is unequivocally misspelled, part of the tissue being looked at. If I let understanding, which is belonging to me, if I left understanding to you, the part of the issue, if I let understanding, which is belonging to me, not only in my dreams, if I let understanding, wishes belonging to me, if I let understanding variously withstand, if I let understanding variously, which is belonging to me, withstand in direct wishes belonging to me, exhibited not only through dreams, that gets understanding variously, exhibited wishes belonging to me. If we let the ending, I let the end continue, so that which is misspelled in your regenerative sleep. If I let the end continue, misspelled which is being notated. If I let the ending continue, which is misspelled by being notated. I let the ending continue, which is belonging to the rotation, which is misspelled by being rotated. If I left the ending for you, which is belonging. If I left understanding to you, which is misspelled by your dreams, which is expelled from your dreams, which is misspelled dreams. If I left understanding to you, which is unequivocal. If I left understanding to you, part of the issue misspelled. If I let the ending continue, if I left impending continue, if I let the end to you, we can meet in this place. And we can look at objects. If I let the ending, which is the air you wished for, we can look at the map of the city. We can look at the floor plan and find the map of the city. We look at the floor plan demarcating the time. We look at the map of the city. We look at the floor plan demarcating regenerative time that we share, aspects of the museum, and there's no way out of the museum without passing them, which doesn't preclude the possibility to not talk about how we see it. I don't know you, but they belong to us. They're on exhibit. I don't know you, but we are meeting here. They are on exhibit. They exhibit us. They belong to us. They belong on exhibit. They are no exit. Have no exit. They are no exhibit. But they belong on exhibit. They exhibit us. But they belong to us. They belong on exhibit. But they exhibit us. But they belong. We can meet in this place, and we can look. We can meet in this place, and we can look at objects with their properties, with their explanations. They're on exhibit, but they belong to us. In fact, there's no way into the rest of the space without looking at them. And ask why we still have to look at them. The years when they left, always open. I wait for you. After I say something. To say something. I wait for you to say something. After I say something. Sometimes even air didn't get through very well. In fact, there's no way into the rest of the space without saying something. Sometimes air didn't get through very well. Sometimes an error didn't get through.
Short. Short like Prince. The man does a foolish dance. Pants on backwards. A white man, an owner of opinions and properties. He didn't earn his opinions. He made them in his factory. Prop. And his key had a bike tool. It was multi-tooled, which will be handy when camping or for the inevitable fleeing from marauding suburban desperation, crops in the front yard next to the driveway. We have a map of San Francisco showing which streets will be underwater, and shadowy shapes, visuals that indicate the former forms of ice-capped glaciers, a prop to present to the president. No sleep. No sleep. No sleep escape. Milk raining down, turning lilies white. Mina presided over moon blood, her offerings, young puppies that still sucked their mother. Formaldehyde in the sheets to be wrinkle-free. April 2006. 5 times the average in tornadoes and thriving poison ivy. The sky turns green. Old Roger has died and gone to his grave, gone to his grave, gone to his grave. Old Roger has died and gone to his grave. Hi, ho, gone to his grave. Several ice sheets in Greenland have doubled their rate of slide. My boy blows a plastic whistle, parrot-shaped, stamped, made in China. It's called Write Fucked Up Poems. Write fucked up poems. Write fucked up poems. Round or layered, you know, cabbaged. And I will egg you. Full moon, spring equinox just passed and heavy rose blooms, unseasonably cold and record snow. The rose is called Katy Road, a fucked poem from the start. And the rattling beak of Roadrunner in the driveway, descending cry of Roadrunner, eater of snakes and lizards. Egg in the sky, May, a fertile time in strawberries from California. In the Magic Kingdom lies Tomorrowland, the first great malls and the worship of vehicles. Tape a stone over your womb called Black Apache Tears. I'm driving. I'm driving from the back seat. Have to dive over the front seat to get to the brakes. And there's glass on the floor from my freak out fury. Attach an email printout from your naked hip to show how pissed off you are. We stayed at a farm called North Farm. You can't call it Doolittle after the farm to market road. Drought may be broken by El Nino rain, cold front, contrails, bubbly birthday wine. Don't say it. Global disruptions predicted by 2011. Pusa. Old English. Pusa. Bad. Something soft and cuddly. What a beautiful pussy you are, you are, you are. Love the world, stay inside it, my own private pussy, and the feminist claims I make that I pour a glass of wine for, cultivate, growing a child, 2 parabolic jaws to eat fruit-flavored gummy teeth, Dracula style. Of Mona Lisa's smile, emotion recognition programs determine 83% happy, 9% disgusted, 6% fearful, 2% angry. Women with sharp noses. Women with sharp noses and underdeveloped third portions of their faces, skin, wings spread wide, scary for their snake hair, and fingers loosely clutching daggers. My hands cover my ears. The rocky soil holds no visible life. I wear my favorite lace-up knee boots. It's the anxiety of a terrible future when we might have to move our debt to Vancouver or Morocco, somewhere with universal health care, food straight from growers, no stickers on my apples, otherwise known as, how can we live on one state employee pension? They float in a gray cloud, my mother in the dream, slurring and taking off her shoes. I can't feel the baby yet. How can you be in love with a baby? We might be folding. We might be folding laundry. I am fucked, having never learned how to start a fire without matches. Now I'm Boy Scouted. I'm cooking eggs. Are grackle eggs edible? Stringy meat from scavengers, surely. We could eat Turk's cats, pods, or insects. Roly-polies, but there are not enough of them either. And likewise, he realizes my beekeeping dreams are gauzy, with no uncomfortable moments, like Little House on the Prairie, the televised run with freckles. Walk from the taco shop with fat styrofoam boxes. I'm almost as old Elvis, without the pain pills. Should really collect shoes of future sizes for my boys' feet. My oven says clear off. My toilet seats are new and made in China for lunch. What did I have for lunch? The boys are monitored in front of electronics so I can have poetry and cook. First, it was too warm, and now very cold, with icy threats and the National Guard in Missouri, how polar bears are melting in the drowning spaces. There's no room in the shiny, expensive car to take us all to California. Never seen a corn crake. An ochre cry to screen makes the evening chill accord to sand hill, stream and feel. Wind of wing beats on your face. Face the never stumble for throwing yourself so sprightly. What can't stay late in the month? Dolphin fetuses, not birds, washing up in numbers. Rage sonnet. Rage on the grinding spot. Independence Day, rag laundry day. My boy wears sharp pajamas. Mother ran large food trays, sore shoulders, lobster, surf and turf. It's Independence Day 2011. We may have been poisoned by Operation Ranch Hand. I'm not dead yet. Ezra Pound in my D.C. Charles Olson dream. It is so much harder to be a poet now they say to me. Lack of rain and the number 30 bus may run now all the way down to downtown. I'm stuck on a people mover. Have to cut off the heel of my socks so that I can leave the train station. A majority of whites still disapproved of interracial marriage in 1991. Crab hands would really come in handy raising my king cup. What it means to be out of work, write a crime novel, work at a food bank. What justice forms for a sovereign, doom in nation rooms, recommend and blend in fragrant Chinaberry spring. Here we have high flowers, a lilac in the nose. The zeros taught us phosphorus, and so stripped the leaves to none. Chinaberry. Throwing myself at the cut. Big chestnut. Also called bead tree, grooved seeds, and a force unknown to me, yellow hanging clusters through winter, growing black, smooth, striped bark. Feral tree, desert tree, invader, timber like mahogany, seeds for making rosaries, drunken songbirds. The sing drags. Kiss the hand, kiss on your forehead where it lands, purpling. Love makes us alive. The words are a point, like love a love, 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 love of you. Sea turtles, dolphins, too oily. What does that wasp make of me? Mother sits in the Chinaberry, sucks with a lark and one Canada goose, sipping toxic juice. Let's just pluck ourselves in the ass. Nest in translucent comfort. Deal with the demonic side of social reality. U.S. citizens fill up their free time with television. More TVs than people, more TVs than people. Time with television fill up their free U.S. citizens. Stimulus drive bulge. Stimulus drive bulge sounds and spends to revenue ratio. Latinate dragons also outlays and total public debt. 2001, 3.3 trillion. 2009, 17.3 trillion. It's simpler now to retire. You just die in the office. The big farmer says they use most of their water tap to make wallows for the pigs in the yard so they can stay cool. I said I'd pray for rain for them. Why did I say that? There are no free popsicles at Home Depot. Dry, permanent climate change. I'd like to see it rain again. Don't let it wash the land and sea to open up its injury. Guide us to the sea and be dredged there, oranged, oily. Independence Day 2010. Can be cracked or am that. You didn't consider me or I thought that. You were covering in a nap. You took the 4th of July beers. In the movie, she was Asian and playing an Asian part, singing white on white in the white room. I want to strum or mask this day, ask a question of the large picture window, like why, and also why to think of the napalmed girl in the picture. Swell, you can dream more. The earth swells, seeds pop. I glance at the prize, eyes closed at the glancing. It's not a time to run. I wear soft shoes, and it took a long time to walk here. Insects nudge me in my dreams, like the 5 honeybees, plus the strange one, intelligent bees, glancing and buzzing to say, let me out. The fake lights confuse us, confuses the source. Worker bee buzzed my neck directly, me not turning off lights fast enough. Please, just open the door to the sun.